isn't it, or what?
God damn it, Ryan.
I was good.
We're talking quarterbacks. We're talking turnovers. We're talking being too fixated on winning on Talking Badgers. Welcome back to Talking Badgers, powered by BadgerNotes.com. I'm your host, Kedrick Stumbris. You can find the show on the website formerly known as Twitter at Talking Badgers, YouTube.com/@TalkingBadgers to catch this live. If you are listening after the fact, that's where you want to head, YouTube, to get this as soon as it goes into your feed. I am joined on the wing by noted hockey fan Ryan B. Eilers, and of course, as always, frozen pizza Brandon Cooper. Fellas, I have no idea where Dylan Graff is. Nobody ever seems to know.
I think he's at the women's basketball game. Looked like there was a lot of fans there, so he's just one of the many.
The Robin Pinchton era starts with a dub tonight. That's all you can ask. All you can ask.
That's good.
Okay. Well, let's dive into it, as we are a little late to the jump here tonight, folks. But I want to talk a little bit about the Wisconsin Badgers football program and some things that we didn't quite get into on the show that I did yesterday, that came out of Luke Fickell's presser. And the first of which was a question Luke Fickell got about what he is looking forward to, what he can be optimistic about in the last 4 weeks of the season, the foreseeable future, things of that nature. And Luke Fickell actually gave like a 3-minute response. That's not exactly in his wheelhouse. He's certainly not short for words. Oftentimes he's nothing like a Paul Christ. But the answer, pretty lengthy. And well, one, he says, he starts it with, it's all of us about our ability to continue to push and stretch and claw. Nobody's where they want to be, and everybody recognizes what the mountain still looks like. The mountain making its return after the bye week. Then he goes on to mention that he wants to see guys finish. We want the locker room to stay together. We want to see these guys continue to compete and find ways to make us successful. And that's what's hard. I mean, everybody gets, fixated on just winning football games. And that's our goal. And that's our job. But there's a lot more to what we have to be able to do going down the stretch. There's some points here about growth and internal growth in the program that I want to get to in a minute here. But guys, does this seem like a little bit of a different tone from Luke Fickell, and maybe make you think some things about certain assurances he has gotten where I guess he's not necessarily fixated on wins?
Which is wild. Like, just
a weird thing to say.
Reading it, yeah. Like, I didn't listen to this, and you sent us this in the group chat. That was the first time I had read this, if you will, heard this, but I was just befuddled, and I guess I still am right now, of like, what? Like, what? Wait, man. Winning, like, how do you not say, like, basically, like, winning doesn't matter right now is what I got from that. And it's like, oh,
yeah, it's fucking loser talk. That's what it is.
Like, sick, dog. Glad to know that's where we're at.
Yeah, hopefully it impacts our draft standing, because we're just tanking for the next guy. I don't even know who the next guy in high school is. Not that it really matters. Just give it 6 months, he'll be in the portal. So, absolute loser talk from a guy that's actually 2-11 in his last 13 games. So I guess the thoughts match the production. So,
they are trying to improve the production. Luke Fickell, a little further on in his answer, does mention that Saturdays still have to be about growth, and we can't lose our minds about the things that are happening, because there's a growth to this that's there. And this is the part that stuck out to me. This is okay. That's there. It's slight and internal.
Hold on. I'm sorry. 3 ands.
I subscribe to the notion that you should transcribe like to the very literal. Get all the ums, the uhs, the you knows.
I love it. Yeah.
Like
I absolutely hate it, but thanks, because I already have a hard time reading.
Sorry.
So I'll repeat all of them. There's a growth to this that there it's slight and internally we are seeing a growth. It's a little bit harder to see external. I won't disagree with the last part. I can't necessarily say I agree with the first part because I'm not there to see it internally. We haven't seen any internal growth since August because we're not seeing the practices. But fellas, Luke Fickell really leading in on the growth we can't see on Saturdays. Thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, in the great words of the wise philosopher Daniel Tosh, so you're the greatest student ever until it comes time to take the test. Oh, okay. So you're stupid. This idea that like, hey, we're really good, you just haven't seen it yet. It's either no one knows ball and you're just like some wizard that just like doesn't want to win, but you want to grow without winning, or you're just trying to like convince yourself. Everybody that watches this game and consumes this product knows it's nosediving. So whatever growth you're getting, can it start by finding the area that they paint a different color? Like, can the growth start there at least? Because we went October and we scored 2 touchdowns in the entire month. So if there's growth internally, can you at least get in the painted area?
One thing to me that stands out too, like just reading this more after that, it's a little bit harder to see externally. And sometimes when you get those game days in particular, the emotions start to run so high that, you get a lot of things that are out of character. You're the head fucking coach, dude. That's on you. Like I don't know, man. It seems like
so the end of that is when you get to those game days, the emotions start to run so high that we get a lot of things that are out of character. And so for me in particular, and for our players, we've got to make sure that we're prepared for what we need to be able to do so that we can go out there and compete and play. And we haven't done the whole, like, let's break down the press conference thing on the show this year, but this was just a weird answer to me. And one that, like, Luke Fickell has been very coach speaky. It is a very coach speaky answer, but also in a different way than he typically has been. I still remember, and what sticks out to me most about the Luke Fickell era is sitting in his post-game presser when they lost to Minnesota last year on a record cold day inside Camp Randall Stadium, and he literally, Brian Kelly, pounded his fist on the table about them not going out and competing to win. And this is so markedly different from him, where it's just like, the process, wins. You can get fixated on the wins, but it's not even so much. It's not even like we have to commit to the process because then the wins will follow. It's just like, there's a growth internally, maybe not so much externally. It's so strange. And then the idea about the emotions running high, I don't know if that's like, does our emotions on game day prevent us from leaning back on our process throughout the week? Is it, a Tyrese Fearbry going out and getting penalized before the opening kickoff against Iowa? Is that what he's talking about?
Well,
it's so weird.
When he's like, we got to make sure we're prepared, like, for what we need to be able to do. Well, that's why they hired you. Like I said, like, a quote just befuddles me. And I feel like I used befuddle twice on this podcast.
I was thinking that too. I was like, fucking big brain, dog.
We out here. But Like, did the locker room give up on you? Like,
he does say that one of the focuses through the last 4 weeks is keeping the locker room together. Keeping the locker room on it.
Like, to me, this is just a wild quote. Like you said, there's plenty of coach speak in there, but just the tonality of it compared to everything prior and the state of the team right now. And maybe it's just my algorithm on like Twitter, but you see a lot of people not super thrilled with the program. Like, it's not great right now. And to have this come out, it's like, something's going on. We just don't know it.
Yeah, I'm convinced it's one of two very distinct things. And I think so. I don't remember if it was Scary Alvarez that posted this, but someone had posted it after one of the ass whippings, and they said he's coaching or he's speaking.
Yeah, this is a scary theory. This is a scary theory.
Yeah, that either he 100% knows he's fired or 100% knows he's staying. Because, like, I get what you're saying, like, wins don't matter, growth, blah, blah, blah. You could look at that like he thinks he's coming. Like, someone could say, oh, that means he's coming back for next year. Or they know or maybe he knows he's getting fired at the end of the year, and it's just like, yeah, who gives a shit about wins? Yeah, growth, I hope it's good, cool. Next question. Like, kind of just going emotions. I looked at it for maybe because I'm just pissed off at American Airlines right now, but I have this irritation, and it's like, so I'm looking at it through a negative lens where it's like maybe he meant it in a positive way, like, hey, we're going to grow, we're going to develop and be ready for next year. But I took it as, but I'm 2 steps out the door. That's how I kind of looked at it, because the idea of just trying to keep the locker room together, it's like, isn't that what you have a culture counter? What the 4th phase is for? Like, you had all these jerk off ideas of how you were going to improve the culture, but it's like and I had this conversation with the boys today, is you look at teams and they always resemble kind of what their coach is, right? You look, like, for better or worse, look at Dion's guys in Colorado. They all they're flashy, they love attention, they radiate what their head coach is. Now, they don't radiate the winning that he did at his player level. But then you look at, like, Indiana and the 6 guys. You hear Mendoza out here talking about his own Heisman campaign because he's cocky and confident like Cignetti. You look at Saban's guys. They were always kind of, like, buttoned up. And what would you say about the Fickell guys? What do we see on game day? I hope they don't quit. I hope they try hard. I hope they want to be here. I hope it's not just about money. Where'd they get that mentality from?
Starts at the top, brother.
That's what I'm saying. A snake rots from the head down, brother. Yeah.
And 2, like, the growth thing. Like, that's a year 1 and 2. Like,
year 3, bro.
You're in year 3. This is year 3 and 4 in college on,
it's winning time.
That's your make or break time. Like, okay, you got 2 years, turn around this program, especially when you have guys out there, as Ryan mentioned, like Cignetti. Look what he did at Indiana. A year, and they were in the college football playoff.
It's literally team building.
Number 2?
Yeah, number 2 in the country. It's literally team building. The first year, you install all your systems, you set your culture. Year 2, you improve on your systems, and you want to see market improvement, and you fortify your culture. Year 3, your culture's set. It is what it is. You can't keep reinventing culture every year. Year 3, your culture's set. You should be taking off. This is go time, whether it's basketball, baseball, hockey, whatever you're in. Year 3, like, how many, like, if you can't keep guys because you keep leaving for the portal, that's a you problem. If you can't get people to stay here because you don't have enough money, that's a you problem. I'm tired of everybody blaming everyone else. It's the coach. You're the CEO coach. What exactly are you in charge of? Are you in charge of recruiting? No, you have a whole staff for that. Are you in charge of game management? Dear God, someone should take that from you. I hope not, because come on now. Are you in charge of running defense? Nope. Offense? Nope. Fundraising? Nope. Showing up to Rose Bowl dinners? Nope. Connecting with high school coaches? Nope. What do you say you do here, boss? I mean, it's year 3. It's winning time. It's not growth time. It's not, oh, I hope I keep the locker room time. It's winning time. You're 2-11 in the last 13 games going back to 2014, and your only 2 wins were Middle Tennessee and Miami of Ohio. Let's win some games, bud. I don't care about your growth. The only thing I want to see growing is the scoreboard.
Ryan, you got me bricked up talking about growing, dude. I'm ready to.
I would say, like, if we actually win a game, the only thing that's going to be growing is the inside of my pants. but we can't even do that. So,
Ryan, you know who else is in year 3 in this athletics department?
someone that probably wants to get fired too. Who?
No. Noted big time hockey guy over here.
Oh, my guy, Mike Hastings. Yeah, border battle. Sorry about it. Hey, yeah, seriously. Hey, we saw section 108. Some boys getting rowdy.
Section 108.
I was like, let's go. I was like, hockey is legit. And there's people out there with like, sure. Hey, hockey is, for those that don't know, I mean, obviously, if you're watching a Wisconsin Badgers podcast, you're probably very familiar with hockey programs. Growing up in Phoenix, like, yes, we have hockey players that made it out of Phoenix to be very good. Austin Matthews, Shane Dellner.
Coyotes.
But who?
Wasn't it the Arizona Coyotes?
Yeah, they left because, no one in Arizona really cared, which is what it is. But we need a team back. Come on now. Hockey gods, give us our team. However, for a guy that lived in the desert and wasn't familiar with hockey, been getting involved the last couple of years, it's real hard for me to I understand the game. Players' last names kill me, so it's really hard to like, oh, yeah, I like that group of 17 consonants and 3 vowels. Like, that's the person I like. So, but hey, going to some hockey games, seeing some boys touch each other up, meet each other very nicely. Hockey's all the way back. And I've had this big theory, by the way. They need to include that in football. Like, why you can't fight in football, but you can fight in hockey is beyond me. Like, if you guys want to take the helmets off and just tag each other up and then, like, you're out for a series, let's bring that to football. Because in hockey, they're hitting each other. People in the stands are fighting. This sport is awesome.
Because in football, someone will go full-blown fucking Myles Garrett and just hit you with the helmet.
Yeah, and then they get arrested. But if you fight clean...
Well, someone might die. Yeah, you don't need that.
Well, collateral damage.
Oh, my.
But hockey's awesome, yeah. But Mike Hastings, what's he doing in year 3? One of these numbers.
Hockey might be the best sport to watch live. And the worst sport.
Especially in section 108 with some Minnesota fans.
Like, I think like maybe the worst sport to watch on TV, depending on who's calling the game.
If Chrissy Birdsall's on the case, listen. If she's not, I'm not watching. I need to be live. I need to feel the environment.
She works for the Magic now.
Really?
Yeah. I knew she went pro basketball. I wasn't sure where.
Yeah.
But yeah, she was great. She did like the Wisconsin WSUN, Wisconsin student something. She called men's and women's games, right? Because I remember watching I think it was the women's game last year. I had the alternate broadcast, and I was like, Chrissy's doing her thing. I love it.
We're all fans of Chrissy. Bro's pro. All right, let's see who did their required reading of not that I actually required it. But their required.
I did read that.
The actual required reading I put in was the quote we already discussed, but the non-required, highly encouraged reading of my own publication this past week. Who knows?
I have not done that. I've been busy writing jokes.
Look who he's talking to.
About players number 1 through 25 on the Wisconsin Badgers.
He's asking the 2 that didn't come to play school. He's got Cardale Jones in it.
The Wisconsin Badgers men's hockey team is undefeated through 8 games.
Let's go.
When is the last time Wisconsin was? Who knows the last time Wisconsin was undefeated through 8 games?
Let's go.
And they're 2-0 in fights that I've seen live.
13.
2013, Coop, you are way off. Not even close.
1996.
Keep going.
84.
Keep going.
1932.
81. I think the program may have been dormant in 32. The program went dormant for about a 3-decade stretch, and the modern history of the program restarts back in 1968. Only twice since the program relaunched has Wisconsin Badgers men's hockey been unbeaten through 8 games. The last time, 1981. They take on the number 2 ranked team in the country, the Michigan Wolverines, this weekend in Ann Arbor.
That surprises me, man. We've had some good teams.
Yeah, that means we're winning a title, bro. That's what it means. And the Badgers are 2-0 in live fights I've seen this year. So the boys are all the way back.
They're good. They also have a sweep over Alaska, which got a pretty frisky win over a top 5 like Quinnipiac team this week. Very, very interesting. Okay, let's go back to talk about football. This podcast has been shockingly about hockey the last couple of weeks. Tells you where the football program is.
Big time hockey guys.
Let's do that hockey.
Okay, I want to talk about the Wisconsin Badgers and their inability to force turnovers. Because this was another thing Luke Fickell was asked about, but a thing that has kind of gone by the wayside over the course of this season, and something that just deserves to be spoken about, because we did talk about it at the very beginning of the year and how like they kind of inevitably had to regress up after finishing sub 100 in the FBS a season ago. They have not regressed up in that category. And Luke Fickell, when asked about it and their lack of being able to force turnovers, said, and why he thinks that might be, said, I wish I knew. He mentions that they've had some in our hands that obviously you got to capitalize on. And in particular points out that last week against Oregon, he says there were a few balls that were on the ground that we didn't get. Now, I do have some nits to pick about that, because he says there were a few balls on the ground at Oregon that we didn't get, but none of those were forced fumbles. And that has been an ongoing problem with this Wisconsin defense. Fellas, who can guess how many fumbles the Wisconsin Badgers football defense has forced this season?
3.
Guess again.
Oh, we got buzzers now. Holy shit.
We
Game
got to drop.
1.
One.
Miami of Ohio.
One forced vote. Nope. Extra credit to Coop if he knows either the player or the game had happened.
Wasn't it Mason Posa?
Holy shit, this dude's a fucking genie.
Oh, what fucking game was it? They got
he only gets to play every so often. So.
They got their dick kicked in, didn't they? Was it Maryland?
Oh, I was about to walk out of here. Play the lottery.
It was Michigan, the Michigan game. The ball fell like directly down on the ground as Poso was tackling the ball carrier, and he just fell back on top of it. So Wisconsin never had a chance. Wisconsin has recovered exactly 0 fumbles this season from opposing offenses. I don't know. Probably the Wisconsin Badgers football offense has fumbled the ball on occasion and recovered its own fumble. I think that's correct. That's rough. They are currently 131 in turnovers forced in the FBS. There are 134 teams.
How many teams are there?
134.
Yep.
For those following along at home. Anybody got big feelings about them just not forcing turnovers? Whether it's just, certainly some of this is just shockingly Ricardo Hallman. We all kind of knew that 2 years ago that was probably the peak of what he could do, just getting picks in dang near every game. But they haven't picked anybody off. I don't know if it's just the defense is just not violent enough to force fumbles. For as good as they have stuffed guys on the run fairly often, they're not punching that peanut.
That's the ticket. I don't know if they're hunting. Like, if you watch the games, like, a lot of times they're a very sure tackling team. Like, for the most part this year, they've really cleaned up like a lot of run fits and that kind of stuff. But yeah, it doesn't even seem like once somebody's held up, we don't have people hunting the ball. That was a Jim Leonard specialty, not to make it about him, but it's like the first guy will stand you up, second and third guy are hunting. And it's like, it doesn't seem like we will wrap guys up and get them to the ground, but it's like, we're not hunting the ball like we used to. But I think a lot of it too is like just turnovers in general. Like they say, slow feet don't eat. It's like, a lot of times it seems like we're out of position on a lot of things, both linebackers and coverage, corners definitely. And it's like, you're not going to force many turnovers when you're playing off coverage and you're giving up quick passes and catching runs, like just not going to force a lot.
Oh, my computer's tweaking out.
Coop, you're frozen, but we can hear you.
Yeah, my computer's tweaking right now.
The frozen picture of you looks awesome, though.
Hell yeah, dog.
I will say, Coop's got some tremendous hair going. Tremendous. And not
Great
just
flow.
and not just on his face for the ladies.
No, you know.
He and I are going to take the Bowser's lap later. I'll be Bowser.
Coop's having a tremendous time.
I am not.
The brick shop probably ate the cords.
To bring a shot.
Hey, shout out Brick, dog.
A couple commenters in the chat I want to point out. Somebody says we're a hockey school now. Bo Dragon appropriately pointing out we've always been a hockey school.
Bo knows puck.
Bo, not always perfect take, in my opinion, but got to give him this one.
He's been anti-Fickell for a long time, and now we're best buds. So he and I can ride.
That's good for him. Slim Lewis
This clown
Guitar
car's got 2 seats, baby.
pointing out hockey has more natties than football, basketball, and obviously baseball combined. That's pretty good. I don't know if Coop has big thoughts about the turnovers here, but look, we got him back.
All right, yes.
Coop, you got thoughts about the defense?
Danny McBride's back.
Turnovers?
You're fucking out. Dude, so hold on, quick story time. So we have a
You
guy.
couldn't have done it at any point while you were frozen on video and we were vamping without you.
No, but quick story time. So we have a guy at work. There's this website me and my buddy found. It's like an AI face swap. So you can take like pictures of we take pictures of like famous people or like movie posters. And there's this one dude at work and we just swap his face onto everything. And so we made him into like a bunch of like safety posters. And one of them is him. It's him as Kenny Powers. And it says safety first or you're out.
I'm sure he's loving that.
He gave us permission. I asked him before we did it.
Name, image, likeness, baby.
Yeah, I should pay him probably. He's a good dude though.
So speaking of random NIL projects, so I think this is in every team thing, but at the first intermission, or the first like media timeout of the basketball game, they play this Piggly Wiggly app, and it was featuring Zach Kinziger for the men's basketball team. And I noticed that they do this for every team because they do this with Lacey Eden for the women's hockey team, who's like very good, very, very, very good player. Is going to play for Team USA tomorrow night against Canada. You can watch that 7 p.m. Central on the NHL Network. But Zach Kinziger for the men's basketball team, who is outside the rotation, glad he's getting some cash for it. I would assume from the pig, I suppose.
Is he on scholarship?
Kinziger? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He was the top rated point guard in the state last year.
Yeah.
I was pretty sure, but I don't know as well as you do. I just was because I remember it wasn't Klesmit, but it was some. I don't want to call him a bench rider, but there
Carter Gilmore
with the Kia ad.
Oh,
there was somebody that had Kia, like was driving around the little Kia POS, and like they were so excited about that NIL deal. I don't think it was Klesmit.
I thought you were just talking about somebody who was like a contributor, but was not.
I just remember
that was Carter
there was
Gilmore
guys that were getting that extra NIL. But
yeah, well,
Zach Kinziger moving his way up. Here we go.
Hey, get them checks, dog.
Good for him. He shot over 36% from deep his last year of high school on over 200 attempts.
I like that.
Like you watch him in practice, and all he does is hit shots. It's insane. Okay. Given that I think we've burned out on the turnover conversation, let's talk about the quarterback for a hot minute here, because we ran a poll in the chat here, and the people are clamoring for Carter Smith
Why
Ran a
not?
poll in the chat of who should start at quarterback this weekend against Washington. We got 11% of the vote for Hunter Simmons, 89% of the vote for Carter Smith. Danny O'Neill, no love from the chat faithful, youtube.com/@talkingbadgers for one Danny O'Neill tonight.
Watch
Who
him
put
start
Hunter Simmons? Like Hunter Simmons, whoever put Hunter Simmons, please identify yourself so I can send help for you. Because Mendota Health, like I'm pretty sure they got 72-hour psych holds, and I'll get you a first class ticket there, bub. Hunter Simmons, like what do you want a straight jacket?
Luke Fickell played I more than coy with the idea of starting starting Carter Smith this week. Went out of his, he's asked very directly, and Luke Fickell, he does pretty often say, we try to give everybody a chance, but he's a little forthcoming when guys just aren't in the conversation at all. Says, we like the way that they're improving and blah, blah, they're going to compete in practice. But he, when asked about Carter Smith and whether he had a chance to start this weekend, definitively said, not definitively, but said he's in the mix. Which,
yeah, so am I, dog.
Yeah, but like everybody came out of the bye week with this talking point in the media. And I do find it, if not telling to the status of him as a starter this weekend, I think telling to what they think about the other available bodies in the room, that Luke Fickell did not outright shut down the idea of Carter Smith this weekend. And he did go out of his way to say, like, you get more of an opportunity, a real opportunity to evaluate him in a game setting than you would otherwise in practice. And said, if it's not this week, it's not far-fetched to think that there isn't going to be a role for and an opportunity for him here in the near future. But says it still comes down to what gives us the best chance to win football games, to move the football, to score points. Guys.
Hashtag growth.
Who gives Wisconsin football at quarterback the best chance to win football games, to move the football, to score points this weekend?
Go ahead, Coop.
Man, is Scott Tolzien eligible? Give me Smith, man. I don't care. That's a terrible thing to say. But yeah, let's see what he's got.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards Vinny Anthony, but at this point, I guess at the end of the day, he can complete 1 for 13. I am more than confident that Vinny can complete 1 for 13 for 12 yards and have more rushing yards. So he's still going to be just as productive, if not more productive, than Hunter Simmons was. So realistically, maybe Vinny. If not Vinny, you got to go Carter Smith. I don't know what is going on with Danny O'Neill. Like, he played, he had packages, and all of a sudden he got hurt. Did his tear his labia on the way? That wasn't very nice. I just, how are we getting? How are you okay to play? Yeah.
Thank you, Ted.
How can you play, and then you play the next time, and then now how did you get hurt? Like, I know he got smoked in Alabama, but then he played the next couple of days. Is that one of those ones like he shouldn't have played? Like, Billy Edwards was clearly more hurt than he was.
The coaching staff, they've done that a time or two.
Yeah. You don't say. But I'm just, at this point, I'm with.
I said earlier, I was like, watch him fuck around and be like, yeah, Billy Edwards is starting.
That would probably one of the better coaching coy misdirections I've ever seen. I don't know that Washington's going to care a whole lot, but yeah, that whole situation is absolutely bananas from the thing. Just the little that I've heard is just absolutely what I'm going Carter Smith, because if you're going to be about growth, and what are we growing from? Like, we know Hunter's not it. whether Danny can play or not, he's not it. Like, clearly not it. Billy Edwards is not going to be here ever long term because this is his last year until he gets probably a medical hardship waiver and cashes in the max somewhere.
Good for him.
Yeah, I mean, I guess quitting on your team and getting paid, if that is what truly happened, then I'd be embarrassed. But
coach is failing him.
What's that?
I said the coach is failing him and getting paid.
Yeah, but as a man, you're only as good as your word. So if you are going to say you're a leader and people are going to tell us all off season that you're great for culture and you're bonding with guys and you're being a leader, and then everybody can be a leader when it's easy. Who's the leaders when it's not so easy? And it seems like I don't know if we have a lot of those guys. Going back to the previous quote earlier about hoping that we can keep the locker room together. Seems like we don't have a lot of leaders when it's hard. We have a lot of leaders when it's easy. But I'm going Carter Smith just because at the end of the day, like you said, there's nothing to lose. And also, like, one of two things is going to happen. Either you're going to play Carter Smith and he stinks, and you know now that he stinks, which I don't think he does. But then you can make that assessment, and then inevitably when Luke Fickell's here for 2026, he can know, is that going to be my starter? Is that going to be something I build with? Or he balls out and then it removes all doubt. Like, maybe you don't need a portal guy. Maybe you just need, or maybe you still need a portal guy, but maybe you want to get like a veteran to be a backup and be a mentor and do all that kind of stuff. Like, it would kind of help you in the portal decision-making process that you're going to have. And then ultimately, if you play him and he's somewhat decent, he could transfer anyway. But if you don't play him, he's going to transfer anyway. I mean, I don't know that anybody has that, but if you are 2-10 in a season and your guy doesn't get any snaps in at least 4 games, like I get if you don't play, like start and finish 4 games, but if you don't give a true freshman, even at a quarterback position that's harder to process information than other positions, if you don't give him any time as a true freshman up to your 4 allotted times, and you're 2-10, 3-9, whatever you end up being, like, that to me seems like roster malpractice. Like, not only did you ask that guy to buy in, but the team's a dumpster fire and he still can't play. Like, why would he ever want to buy in and stick around?
I mean, one thing too, like I've been thinking about is, okay, so the program, they're going to have more money next year just with the new NCAA rules and shit like that. And Chris McIntosh says we're investing in the program.
Supposedly.
We're investing, brother. Like, regardless of how Smith plays, O'Neal, whoever plays, are they just going to go try to buy a quarterback from the portal, you think? If they keep Fickell? Like, is that what Fickell's going to want to do? Just try to save his job? Because the schedule, gets a lot easier next year. And people can come at me for, schedule. Is what it is, brother.
But I'm not even coming at you for schedule this year. I'm coming at you for, really? That much easier? When you open the schedule against currently in the mix for a CFP invitational spot, Notre Dame, you have to play Pitt in the non-conference, always frisky, whatever Pat Narduzzi is. You're still going to face Iowa. I guess we have no idea what Penn State's going to be.
That was one of because I was looking at it today. Like, who knows what Penn State's going to be?
I guess you are not wrong that I think the Big Ten schedule now looks a lot easier than it did coming into this season.
Yeah, as of November 5th, like, those teams could also reload in the new modern era.
I understand.
Right. And outside of that Sandusky scandal, like, Wisconsin hasn't beat Penn State outside of, like, what was it, the 2 weeks after Joe Pa got fired, or the week of?
Nobody on this podcast is going to argue that Wisconsin is a better football program than Penn State because
no, I'm just saying in general, like, so
because we're not an internal growth podcast, we're an external growth podcast.
I'm a wins and losses guy. Wins and losses, ties count as losses because they're not in the win column, so it's wins and losses for me only.
Hey, ties can get you into the playoffs, dog.
Yeah, spoken like a true Cowboys fan. But
exactly.
At the end of at the end of the day, the idea of growth is you have this thing at the top. It starts with S. It says standings, And if you do a lot of growing, that number gets bigger. If you do a lot of not growing, that number gets bigger. And at the end of the year, your growth is judged.
In the standings, you want your number to get smaller.
Well, I'm saying the wins and losses in the standings. But yes, you're
right.
Want
them both to get bigger? You just want to play more games?
Yep.
No, everything. You want the W's to have a big number, and you want the L's to have a little number, and that's how you know you got good growth. If you don't have good growth, that means that L number is a lot bigger, and that W is going to be a lot smaller.
Are we talking internal growth or external growth?
Well, it depends on if you're a grower or a shower, I guess.
You show on the inside?
Yeah, what do you mean show?
Internal? What is this?
You get it.
No, not at all. Not even a little bit.
Okay, here's the kindergarten version. When a boy... Never mind.
When a man loves a woman.
Okay.
At the end of the day, if you want to show growth, you show it in the win-loss column. Show me in the standings. Right now, I don't want to hear about growth when you're number 18 by a country mile. If there was 30 teams in the Big Ten, you'd probably be 30 right now. You're lucky there's only 18. So if you want to show growth, win a fucking game, bro. That's growth. Beat a team that you should be able to beat. You have the 28th best roster in the sport and a top 20 paid head coach in year 3. Figure it the fuck out, bro. You get paid $7.75 million to figure it out. Win a game. That's growth.
All right.
Man, I would have sworn you were my high school girlfriend during that rant, dog. It's gross.
Wisconsin does currently rock a 1-0 record with a rest advantage over an opponent. I don't.
Did they play Miami of Ohio because they had all summer to rest?
No, it was Middle Tennessee when they played. Because Wisconsin played on that Friday night or that Thursday. Was it a Thursday night? They played on a Thursday night, so they technically had a rest advantage over Middle Tennessee. So they're 1-0. In the back of my head, I was like, well, did Washington have a bye week last week? And they did. So that doesn't help. So that's not coming for the Cavalry. Although I will tell you, this got a little bit of pop on the internets this week. Wisconsin going to play against Indiana, an 11 a.m. kick on Big Ten Network. Did anybody take stock of the last time Wisconsin played an 11 a.m. Big Ten Network game?
Honestly, I saw a tweet about it earlier today when I was at work, and I forgot the year. But I want to guess it's been over a decade.
No. It was last year. Was it? It was last year. Last time Wisconsin played an 11 a.m. game on Big Ten Network was when they played at Northwestern. That is Wisconsin's last Power Conference win. So,
well, it ain't gonna be on Saturday, so chill.
Oh, I thought you were talking about. Wait, hold on. That's the last 11 a.m. game they played.
Last 11 a.m. game on BTN. Because they played
the one you need an app for, probably. One of those apper ones.
I got YouTube TV. Don't trigger me right now.
Well, BTN's a Fox property.
On ABC.
So. Yeah. Okay. Let's parlay this into a little bit of basketball discussion for the closing minutes here. I don't know if either of you get your eyes on the basketball game this week? Because I don't know that this segment works without Dylan.
They were riding the humps Monday.
I didn't watch the game, but I saw when I was box score watching, and it went from like a probably under 10-point lead to like a 25-point lead in 5 to 10 minutes.
They went on a 31-2 run to end the game in the final.
Sounds like
7.
John Blackwell cooked.
John Blackwell, 31 points.
Like I said, I didn't watch the game on BTN Plus, but from all reports, what was I watching?
Yeah,
I was watching the Cowboys and Cardinals, brother.
Oh,
I know.
I was watching that ass get whooped.
BTA, baby.
Hey, that's fine. I just want Jerry Jones to have a stroke one of these days. But anywho, enough.
A lot of talk about internal growth, external growth.
Back to Badgers basketball.
He's gonna grow 6 feet under.
Everything I saw was very positive, and I should know his name, but the coach for Campbell
Andrewskis or whatever.
John Andrzejczak.
Yeah, that guy.
You know,
that's why I told you with hockey names.
My guard calls him Andy.
Good call.
Like a team you should be excited about, and that's what I feel like. And then I think it was Greg Gard hit the media with an all-time.
Ooh, it's so good.
Cliche
it's so good.
coach.
It's so
He
good.
was like, "Well, God, I'm gonna misquote it," but he was like,
I got it in front of me.
Ken.
I got it in front of me. Okay. Greg Gard said, "Oh, where's my? Here it is." So he was asked about the head coach of Campbell, who was the offensive coordinator for the Florida Gators offense that won the national title last year. Saying that's Wisconsin's a team that can go deep in the NCAA tournament. And Greg Gard says that in the handshake line, Coach Andy told Greg, that, and Greg Gard says, we've got a lot of really good pieces and we're pretty complete when all those pieces are jiving together. But we got a long ways to go. I mean, we've got so many things we got to get better at. As I've said before, I mean, everyone on the outside's excited about what this team is. I'm excited about what this team isn't.
Is it? Bro, I was like, we're going to the Sweet 16. Like, this is the year.
It is the quote that I wanted to talk about in this segment, because aside from it just like being an all-timer, like if they make a deep run like that, I'm excited about what this team isn't.
Yeah.
Look, that's got a chance to be a callback.
That'll be what leads the documentary if this team goes to like the Elite Eight or some shit like that.
Yeah. But it was very interesting in that that's not really the way Greg Gard talked about last year's team. He just talked a lot about like, we got a long ways to go. We got a lot of things to improve on. He's talking a little bit more in like concrete terms, that he just like sees what the potential for this team can be. And I don't know if that's just like year over year belief in himself and the way that he builds programs.
I think it is.
Yeah, it's interesting to me that they just talk about things a little bit. He's talking about things a little bit differently this year. For a team that I personally think is going to be a step back from last year's team, but
still going to be very good.
Yeah. They scored 96 points and like they didn't look good for 20 minutes of that game.
Yeah.
Why would they take a step back? Why are you? Because I'm right there with Gardo. I think this team could be really good.
They lost 5 of their top 7 contributors.
Yeah.
It's a new day, baby.
I shouldn't say lack of experience, but yeah.
Yeah, it's basketball though. At the end of the day, like I get what you're saying. A lot of senior laden teams are always the ones that like those are the when it nut cutting time, like those are the ones that like are really, really, really tough because they played together for a long time. But at the day, like if you got size and skill and you can spread the floor and you can score, I'm not necessarily worried about experience at this point. Will it come back to bite you against like Purdue or something in the regular season?
Yes.
But a lot of times when you're playing people in the tournament, they got 135 teams that get invited to the tournament that literally those senior laden teams, like what's the likelihood you're going to run into them? Like, I mean, 25%, 40%. Like if they play the season they're not going to have to hit those tougher teams that are usually senior laden until they get later into the tournament. I'm just more curious what he meant by what it isn't. Like, are you saying the teams of prior years?
I'll tell you exactly. I can tell you exactly what he said. Everyone on the outside's excited about what this team is. I'm excited about what this team isn't, meaning there's a lot of things we can get better at. And if we do that, then it gives us a chance to have a good year.
Which that to me, the answer doesn't
love
match the statement though.
He's excited about what they are not right now. Meaning he thinks
But the
that
potential.
for all that they currently are, he sees that the ceiling's a lot higher than putting up 96 on Campbell.
Well, that's the thing. Like from all accounts, they didn't play well, and they put up 96 and won by what, 30?
Well, that's what I'm saying. When you talk about a step back as inexperience, I'm like, if Gardo believes in it this hard, I've completely turned my tune. I'm, hard for Gard. Let's ride. But at the end of the day,
I also think
he's not going to pop his chest like that unless he truly believes it. He's not that kind of guy.
No.
So he's not going to say that if he doesn't think his team is decent. He's going to always be this humble guy. So for him to say like, "Oh, I'm excited for what they are," you might be excited for what they are, but I'm excited for what they aren't. Like that's kind of, I don't want to say cocky because that's not the right word, but like clearly he likes the cut of the jib.
It's different, Ryan, and what you're pointing out is exactly what I was getting at. It struck me that it was different coming from him, regardless of like whether you believe him or not. It's a different thing from him to talk that way.
I believe him.
I like it. I believe him.
If you're at this point of the year, right? If you're November 5th, you should have a high ceiling. You should have a lot of belief in your college basketball team to reach, what your hopes are for them on a relative scale. I certainly got my questions about what they look like on the inside. I don't think those were super well answered for me in the first 30 minutes of that game against Oklahoma. I think they've given up a lot inside. They gave up, almost a 60% shooting percentage from the field in the first half. I think it was against Campbell again. Yeah. As they did again in the game overall to Oklahoma, which was rough. I got my questions about him inside and forward reserves. I thought Garlock had some really solid defensive possessions early in the game. If they're not going to get a ton from Bieliauskas, they got some real problems. Because they just don't have experience. Right? They don't have experienced, mature bodies. Yeah, you're right. It is still November. I'm not saying they're doomed. I'm like never going to say they're doomed until we at least see the calendar turn to January. Like that's just silly college basketball watching.
No, I get it. I just remember there was a point at one time, I think it was like I don't think it was last year. I think it was during the AJ Story year when we were talking about like, with the help defense and the defense didn't look good. And I feel like it was like mid-January, like not necessarily him, but just defense in general, like settled in. And I feel like when you got all those new parts, you're not used to where guys are supposed to be on help and weak side, strong side. Like I think especially in college basketball, when you're talking about like inexperience and that kind of stuff, it almost makes it seem like you really aren't going to have an assessment of where you even are defensively until like mid-January or February, just because like you need all of those reps to like gel together, especially because most of the time you are going to be replacing contributors in the NIL era.
Yeah. Problem with if you're going to wait until January to gel together, like your mid-November to December is hard. They have BYU in 2 weeks. And
I'm not saying that they got to be ass on defense. I'm just saying it's going to, before you see kind of what their finished product is to make a run at the tournament. Like, I don't think you're going to see that November 5th after playing Platteville and Campbell. Like, guys rise to they're college guys. We've seen it before. Like I get, like, I'm not going to put a whole bunch of guarantees on the basketball program because I don't follow it as closely as you do, but I'm willing to bet a healthy amount of money that they look better defensively against BYU than they did against Oklahoma. Like they seem to rise. That was an exhibition, open the season. Like the college kids rise to the challenge. Like those big time games, like when they played Arizona, when we were like, oh, I don't know how we're going to slow down Arizona, and then they hung 100-piece on them. It's like, oh, okay. These guys rose to the occasion. So I think even defensively, they've always kind of been that way under Gard, at least from my childlike brain, it's always kind of like, oh, why are you playing down? But it's just like that's college basketball. It seems like you always kind of play down unintentionally, and then when you get a big time matchup, like even when Tennessee was here with Dalton Connect, like they still lost, but they played a lot better defensively, I thought, than they did it earlier, like 2 weeks prior to that.
I mean, to me, the thing is like, okay, yeah, the defense is, to me, is obviously going to be better against BYU than it was against Oklahoma. But we still might have to hang 100 to beat BYU.
And the way BYU is built with a little guy
is a nightmare.
With a little guy named AJ Devanza on the inside, like that's going to be a really tremendous test for Wisconsin on the interior.
Nolan Winter is going to have to play his ass off.
But that's the give and take, though, isn't it? Like you have to sacrifice to score and play the pace that they want to and play the style. Like you're not going to be able to play this modern offense that they're playing and then Bo Ryan defense at the same time.
Agreed.
You're going to give up buckets. You're going to give up buckets. Like you're not going to hold people in this new system. You're not going to hold people to like 55. So should you have to score 100? I hope not. But if you're winning like 79-64, 79-72, like I'm cool with another 15, 20 points as long as you outscore them.
So this is I don't disagree, but like the point you're getting at here of this, you know, you're going to give up a little bit more, and not just buckets, but like what kind of buckets are you giving up is a big question to me, because right now I have questions about them in the interior, but also like in years past, the shape of their defense, so to speak. The best defenses of the Gard Ryan era have been defenses that allow a lower share of opposing field goal attempts from beyond the 3-point line than twos by a significant margin. The best Wisconsin defenses typically allow opponents to shoot like in the top 50 of college basketball in terms of like allowing the fewest number of threes relative to the number of field goal attempts you actually give up. Because you want to chase teams off of the 3-point line to go inside to your big bigs that you know can defend, and Ethan Happ, a Frank Kaminsky, what have you. But when you don't have those guys on the inside, I don't know what that looks like. Are you still trying to chase teams off of the 3-point line? Are you trying to push teams further out and forcing guys to take bad shots from the perimeter? I'm not really sure, because last year they allowed teams to take a greater share of shots from the perimeter than they ever had before in the Gard Ryan era. And that was, you know, one of their worst defenses in recent years. So it's all very nebulous to me about what it shakes out to look like, regardless of if we even get to the quality of it all. That's all.
Well, and to me, one thing is, like, not to get super analytical, I guess, but okay, you track the data for a couple of years and how you're playing, and then decide, are you giving, like, with the roster we have, obviously it's more kind of 5 out or 4 out, 1 in, like, type of roster on offense. Everyone can shoot. You don't have super big bodies. You have some tall guys, but you don't got like Big Baby or Shaquille O'Neal sitting down there. But are you worried about your defense? Okay, say you give up between 50 to 70% in the paint on field goal percentage, but you're only giving up 20 to 30% from beyond the arc. Like, do you just live with that?
Right.
Like with the way you play offense? Like, I feel like that's where I'm at. Like, okay, like we can give up points in the paint, but if we can defend the perimeter shot at an elite level, I'm fine with it.
And theoretically that works. That's just it diametrically opposed to how Wisconsin has played defense the last 20 years.
I know. I know.
Which is why I just don't know. You know?
Yeah.
Let's say Bo Dragon, like I mentioned earlier, a take that I agreed with earlier, but he just said you can't play this 3-point perimeter offense without a good rebounder. Like, Nolan Mitchell's going to rebound like crazy. John Blackwell had 4 boards the other night and is an even better rebounder than that. Hayden Jones is like should be a very good rebounder and will grow into that as the year goes on. Like they got guys who can grab boards. And I don't even think they're at full strength for that yet. That's something that Braden Carrington, who when he comes into playing more minutes, and I think he will throughout the year, that's something that he should provide a presence to be able to do on the wing as well. I don't have a ton of faith in Jack Janicki growing into that, but like he should take a little bit of a step forward there. Like I think he's got, I think this team's got more rebounders than maybe people are giving him.
One of my questions for you, because you're obviously a little more tuned in than I am. What do you think about the prospects of Will Garlock with his size?
Middleton kid.
Clearly wasn't playing Middleton middle school football for you. I have no idea what he's going to be this year. Like you could tell me that
good.
He ends up play. I mean, he played. He's in the rotation right now. He is firmly in that 10-player rotation right now. He is the second reserve forward. But like on Monday, he was second in name only. He played more minutes than Bieliauskas. He played 10 minutes in the season opener. And he was certainly, of all the players in the rotation, when they came into summer workouts, he was the least likely to be in it. But since July, the staff has been speaking glowingly about him. The staff, other players.
He's a good player, man.
Yeah. Bo Winter was getting his layups rejected by a short dude at the rim last game. Let's talk about rebounding. What are you talking about? You're watching a different podcast. If I'm watching a different game, what are you talking about? Yeah, I don't know. You could tell me Garlock is in the rotation, is coming with Jack Janicki off the bench first to sub by the end of the season, or you could tell me Garlock was completely out of the rotation by the end of the season. I would believe you either way. I have no idea.
I think both play a lot.
Both whom?
Garlock and Janicki.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, Janicki is going to be the first guy in the backcourt off the bench.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like when you said they're either or, I think they're both going to play.
No, I was saying either Garlock could be with Janicki coming off of the bench first, because typically Gard rotates in a guard and a forward first. He doesn't have a sixth man. He has 2 sixth men, a la Kamari McGee and Carter Gilmore coming into the game at the same time. And so you could tell me, that pairing is Janicki Garlock, or you could tell me Garlock is like not playing by the end of the season, and I would believe either one of those. So that's all. Okay. We're at minute 53. Anybody got other big thoughts? We got word facts, etc. Geography facts to close out the evening.
No. I have like 30 superlatives, if you will, but we'll save those for a different day. I think what do I have? 1, 2, 3. I have 5 on Sebastian Cheeks alone.
That is a lot.
I can only imagine.
So that's a teaser, but we'll save that for a different day.
Okay. I'll offer a geography fact. Anybody know where Campbell University is?
The United States.
Correct. Do you know what state?
I don't know. I'm gonna guess Pennsylvania.
One of the United ones.
Indiana.
No, I feel like it's out east. They came to wrestle last year at the field house. I feel like they're from out east. Is it out east? Let's play this game. Is it out east?
Like, technically, yes, but not in the way that you're thinking.
I'm thinking Virginia.
Ohio.
Both of you are wrong. Hooger in the chat's got it, I presume, because he actually watched the game. North Carolina, Bowie's
Oh.
Creek, North Carolina,
Carolina.
home of the
I would
Campbell
never guess
Fighting
that one.
Camels. YouTube.com/@TalkinBadgers is the home of the Talking Badgers podcast, badgernotes.com. You can catch us live if you're listening to this after the fact on the audio platform by heading there. Until we talk to you all again next week, we'll be back to talk about Washington Huskies and an incoming game against the Indiana Hoosiers, whatever happens inside the Kohl Center on Friday against the Northern Illinois Huskies. We got back-to-back Husky matchups this week. And I suppose we'll probably do this after we see the Wisconsin Badgers basketball team take on the Ball State Cardinals. For Ryan Eilers, for Brandon Cooper, I've been Kedrick Stumbris on Wisconsin.